In a land where a city of zealots stands surrounded by wilderness, the handlers patrol the frontier. Collie, a newly minted squad leader, finds herself on a mission with her two squadmates to an abandoned building in the wilds. There, she reflects on her past in the face of her seemingly blessed role and will face a fateful decision. Hello and welcome, Lynx here. We are going to play Spellbroken from punishedhag. Yes, interesting name for a dev, yeah? Pretty good name for, to be honest, I'm gonna lie. We played one game from that dev before. Today we are going to see to another that has been waiting on my PC for a while. The game technically was released in 2020, but so what? So what? From the screenshots, looks decent enough. We will be having a maybe one episode look at it. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Let us begin. The murmur of party guests and the clink of champagne glasses. The gentle night breeze rustling the trees. The hum of glittering ceiling lights and the whir of electric fans. It lies beyond your room. You sit in solitude, sipping on a lukewarm cup of tea. Your family told you to join the festivities, to dance beneath the stars and laugh with faces old and new. You vanish into your private quarters the moment they let you out of sight. You need only a good book and an open window to keep you company. Yes, that's me. There is a sound of a tongue. There is a knock at the door. You feel your brow furrow. A peek? It's your father. He shakes head at your isolation, peering down at your over golden finery. You shrink away. Orders are given. The staff downstairs needs directing. If you aren't going to be social, you can at least be useful. The air in your room tastes dry, sterile. Just how you like it. Do I? I don't know if I do like that. I think I wouldn't, to be honest. But then again, maybe I have a different idea of, you know, a sterile and dry room. For me, it kind of sounds a little bit like a kind of hospital room, basically, and don't like the idea, no. And you take a deep breath and brave the harsh spotlight. Direction, purpose. You give it as best as you can. Eyes set in calculating faces watch from the foyer, needling you and your inadequacies. Strange men and women cross your path, barking greetings as if they were your closest kin. The simple tree beneath the chandeliers takes an age and a half. With every step you feel your little pool of energy drain. With every step the desert of anxiety grows larger. It's funny how I feel like I say this word differently every time. Anxiety, anxiety, and so on and so on. Whatever. Finally return to your sanctuary. The far end of the house, away from your ostentatious sisters and Machiavellian brothers. Your safe harbor in the storm called life. The door is ajar. As you enter, you find the light is off. The window is open, curtains billowing. The artificial glare of the party's lights is no longer visible, instead giving way to the silver-rich glow of the moon. It feels as if your room has been frosted with ice. A hand rests on the cover of your book. It is attached to an arm, thin yet lovely in shape. A dress of delicate white, hair of shimmering night, eyes that flash like a distant storm. A smiling pair of lips, lusciously glossy black in the dark. The room is warm. Humid. Your forehead beds sweat. You can barely question her. Her sheer aura annihilates your awareness. You can only see her as she approaches. Then your ears pick up the click of her heels as her hidden legs stride towards you. Your nose follows. The scent of her hot perfume striking to your mind. Finally, you feel the touch of her fingers on your shoulder. I don't know why it's kinda not responding. There is a gentle pull on your wave as she leans in. Her breath as she talks tickling your neck. My name's Klessa. What's yours? You know how to answer, and she isn't expecting one. Her other arm wraps around your waist and you feel your body cede control to her entirely. Your knees buckle and your throat clamps up. Damn. Klessa draws you in, gently guiding you to the chair, where she sits and takes you onto her lap. Oh. Her thighs are soft. Her breasts are too. Everything about her is like silk. Let's go. Wrapping and enveloping you as if you were being cocooned by a spider. Or perhaps the cocoon is your own. The fire in your heart burns. A heat greater than any you've known. You've never felt this before. In alarm you get to your feet, spell momentarily broken. Your face is flushed and you can barely look at Klessa as you tell her to leave. She laughs. What if she told someone you tried to accost her? She jokes about it, but the fear of your family, of the world beyond the walls, it terrifies you. You fall to your knees before Klessa, your dress caressing. My dress? Oh. So I guess we are having a female protagonist over here. So obviously, like the inner thoughts narration, I'll read as I'm doing it right now. But if there is dialogue, I might change the voice a little bit. Just a little bit. You beg her to forgive you for trying to chase her out. You don't want any more trouble. And what does she do? Or do you? You feel Klessa's hand on your cheek. Then you feel her other hand on your other cheek. You're shaking. Her threads begin to entwine you once more. Her fingers run across your skin, starting blazes wherever they touch. The party is gone from your mind. Your only thought is the heat. The fire within Klessa is stoking. Deep inside, at the center of your being, a shockwave resonates. You can feel it echo through your mind, striking through barriers of reason and pushing through the sea of your consciousness. It is a wave, a pulse, a bolt of lightning from a clear sky. You become hyper-aware. Your body is wrapped in fabric that is at once uncomfortable and a tenuous shield, protecting you from the stark reality of your feelings. Klessa smiles down on you, her fingers glistening in the dim light. Klessa grins as she lifts her finger to her lips, opening wide. A long tongue emerges and tastes your innermost nectar. You feel a lock snapping shut on your heart and a billion chains racing down the walls to engulf you. Your arms, legs, waist, neck, iron shackles strap them all. Your soul reels as the world rotates into a strange new dimension. Your destiny has changed. Your body, your actions, your thoughts, they are changed once and for all. Rendering you a puppet dancing in the hand of Klessa. She looms over you like some terrifying angel, eyes flaring with the promise of a chaotic and cruel future. She whispers, "Say my name." You couldn't be happier to. Oof. I opened my eyes. The canvas roof of the tent was lit by the morning sunlight. It's time to get up. I pulled the sleeping bag zipper down and immediately feel a chill in my skin despite the crumpled uniform I'd spent the night in. It makes me groan and I roll sideways, which knocks a stray eyelash into my eye and causes me to get up with a start and pick it out. What an awful way to wake up! Oh. Cutie pie.
The dream again.
I let out a sigh and roll some bile in my mouth. Ever since I can remember, I always dream about Klessa. When I was a child, she was a friend my age, but other times a mother who loved me or a mysterious stranger who tormented me. She always had a different face, voice as well, but she was always there to dominate my dreams. When I hit puberty, I started to have dreams about her in a different kind of sense. I didn't understand it at first. The handlers did have a lot of lesbians and bisexuals in their ranks historically. It is an all-female organization after all, but nobody really talks about the details. Eventually I got over it by deciding it was just a dream. Huh. I never felt anything for anyone in real life. My mind is probably just starved for excitement. Oh, interesting. But is that really true? Still, no matter the situation, no matter my age, it's always Klessa. And I always end up enjoying those dreams. I guess that's fine, considering what my life is actually like. I pull my footwear on and grab a flask of water, raising the flap on the tent and emerging into the clearing. We're camped out in the Great Northern Forest, a good distance from the city. You can tell because there is no line of radio towers or power cables here. Just distant bird calls and the rustling of leaves. Sound travels pretty far, so something close by like my subordinates is practically deafening. Oh, she's a... Yo, she's the one. I like her.
Oh, look who's awake.
A fairly attractive girl calls at me from the nearby campfire. She wears the same form I do and frankly wears it a lot better. I'm pretty awkward as a woman. You know, that line would make a lot of sense. Because I'm not a woman, so... You know, if I had to pretend being one, I would be awkward as heck, that's for sure. Anyway, so being around nice looking girls like Grey makes me feel kind of shitty. Dude. She's a beauty.
You could have woken me up, you know. We're trying to keep a schedule. Sorry, squad leader. It's probably against regulations or something to disturb a superior officer or whatever.
She'd wake me up on purpose. I'm not surprised. The girl has practically told me to my face she wants my job. That is indeed interesting. I don't really mind for at least she's easy to read.
Squad leader is in the marked command position. You don't need to worry about formal procedure. I'm just a designated order giver. Or whatever. Sure. I'll take down the tent. Lacey's dicking around over there.
Who? I follow Gray's finger and see my other squad mate on the far side of the clearing. She's looking through a pair of binoculars. I walk her and call out.
See anything interesting? Oh, Collie! I was just scanning the perimeter now. Basic handler practice in the wilderness. Never know when you might spot a witch on the run.
This is Lacey. She's the angel to Gray's buyout. She's very fluffy and polite and eager to cooperate. Before I was made squad leader, she was our commander's attendant, so everyone knew her. All of us witch handlers are supposed to be pretty religious. What? We're a church organization after all. What? But Lacey is very devout. She really believes in helping witches. Yes, let's help the witches actually. The church, actually, we all know, if anything, they would try to burn them. Witches are great. Unless they are old hags, then I don't care, but, you know, a hot witch? We are saving that one. As for myself, I wouldn't say I'm a person of faith, but duty is duty.
Good work. We'll set out once we get our supplies packed. The objective's pretty close, so we should get there by midday. Go help Grey with the tent and I will put out the fire. Yes, ma'am!
Lacey, move though before I can interject. I don't like titles or ranks or anything. They feel stifling. A bit strange for someone in the handlers, I guess. I cast a glance at the sky above. It's as blue and clear and as clear as ever. As we trek through the forest, the chilly air gradually begins to warm up. Everything is still moist. The heavy canopy and cool ambient temperature mean dew often forms here. The addition of warm sunlight starts to make everything feel very damp. The grass beneath our feet squelches and the bushes we push past splatter us with sprays of droplets. My uniform already stinks from several days of travel. This isn't helping at all.
I freaking hate nature. Just putting that out there. Language! It's fine. Lace, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's no delicate little children watching. God is watching. We represent his will on earth. Good behavior is expected of us. Grey.
You know what is funny? Usually people who are like very touchy-feely about stuff like that and point out everything to you, they are the biggest sinners. So, yeah.
God created us all and the world, right? Of course! That's what it says in the telecommunion! Then God created the word fuck. No!
Yes! These two often banter like this. We've been on the march for quite a distance and there hasn't been much in the way of distraction. A stupid argument. Or two. Or 5. Does help make the monotony less grating.
Would it be that God created humans and humans created the word fuck? You know, like the concept of sin and so on?
To be fair, it's God who created the sin as well. Who knows, I wouldn't be surprised if God sinned before the human was in existence. Just saying. Wink.
But God would know that human would create the word fuck, so he's fucking responsible for it existing. Can you two please stop saying that word?
Grey mock gasps. Here we go.
But you just said it, you dirty little heathen. I didn't mean to. In fact, it's okay saying it because I was using it as a teachable moment. How is that okay? Tenets of the Good Communion of Volume 5 engaging hypothetical sin in order to expose its weakness. I said it so I could prove the sinfulness of words. There! You just said it twice more. I guess we're all just freaking swearing, huh? No! I'm not! I'm exempt from this.
By this point, Grey has started laughing uncontrollably. I'm suppressing a smirk as well. Lacey is probably playing it up to keep the conversation going, but that's not a bad thing, I think. If we had to be silent these old woods, it would be pretty oppressive. What's that thingy on the right side? I pushed through into another clearing and feel the unexpected hardness of old concrete underfoot. This area was different. Trees and weeds were pushing through the man-made road and pavement. Signs the yard had been abandoned for some time. There were some old fence posts in the distance, but the actual fencing had been ripped out by scavengers during the big scare. Only some rusted containers and mounds of stone had been left untouched. Too heavy to move.
Oh, what's this? Looks like an old yard or a depot for blocks in the area. You can probably guess why it's dilapidated.
Dilapa what?
Wrecked. The big scare.
It'd been, what, 60, 70 years ago? There was a sudden uptick in witch activity in the forests, and some sort of incident happened involving a block. We'd never been taught too much history during the training. That's not good. Everyone knew the aftermath for people abandoned the homes they lived in and fled the city, terrified of witches coming after them. The handlers had stepped up their efforts and cleared most of the standalones near the city, but nobody wanted to move back. The damage was done.
This would have been where skiffs came to drop off supplies. I fought on the Ass and the army had skiffs. They used to have a commercial shipping business, but it shut down when all their customers left their blocks. You know that big warehouse in the Scepter district? That used to be their base. One of my in-laws was a partner with it. He used to tell us how busy it was back then. Kind of sad seeing it now, but not like you can compete against societal panic. People had good reasons to fear witches. Our entire job as handlers is testament to the fact.
She's right, but I don't like how she said it. It's true, witches are dangerous. Unchecked, they can cause incredible chaos and destruction, but I mean, so can humans. I know from our training that there is only a handful of known witches in the wild. Most get picked up early. I don't know what happened to cause this scar, but I bet it involved some exaggeration.
Well, whatever this place used to be, it sure is a dump now. Aren't you looking for a standalone block? Yeah, Grey, we are. Which is why I brought it up. This yard is likely part of the block we're looking for. Oh, right. The Lord helps those who help themselves, Grey.
No, the Lord doesn't help anyone.
Eat a dick, Lace. Ahem. Anyway, it should be just over this rise. Look, you can see there is a gravel under the weeds.
I start walking again, legs aching after being teased by our short break. The trees had parted their gnarled trunks and reveal what we're looking for, sticking prominently out of a lowland field. Damn. The standalone block stands alone. That's why they're called that. It's a big concrete block of little apartments, angular and plain. Interesting. But it seems like there are a few blocks of apartments here. There is some trace of paint on the side, likely the work of a bygone tenants to brighten things up, but it's all faded now. There's a few outbuildings, a giant water pump, a cellar for storing food, an empty garage, nothing special. Standalone blocks dot the forest like big fat spikes orbiting the city. I know my people originally started living out here, but in the old days there were thousands of family groups in the wilds. You can still find the leftovers in every thicket. It's all being reclaimed by nature, but very slowly. I think I read somewhere they estimate in 200 years the blocks themselves will start collapsing without repair, which makes sense. Yeah. The remaining walk goes quickly now that our destination is in sight. Once we get within a few meters of the entryway fall, I wait the girls to slow down and get serious. There is thick bushes and old junk everywhere, plenty of hiding spaces for our target. The lobby of the block is more like a small courtyard, consisting of a wall of letterboxes and stairs leading upwards. There is a service entrance. I look in and see nothing in the gloom. A flick of light switch brings a dim bulb to life. Oof.
There is power. Someone's here.
I mean, that's not necessarily a sign that someone's there.
Are you sure they are still here? They could have left already. Not unless they had a good reason to run. The power in these blocks used to come from the network, but now it would have to be a generator in the basement.
You never know.
It would take a good amount of fuel to run, and anyone out here in the forest wouldn't abandon the investment easily. So standard search then, sweep from both ends towards the middle. Yeah, you to start on the first floor and go up the outside. I'll head right up the inner stairwell and meet you on the way down.
Great Lacey nodded and broke off. I didn't need to tell them, but since we suspected a witch, we're all authorized to use our guns. There wouldn't be much point us being here otherwise. The inner structure of the building is hollow, with a staircase winding around an open space that let the light through. Everything was covered with dust and grime, but the light from above still illuminates a small garden that had grown into a gnarled thicket. I'm impressed at the tenacity of the plants here. I dump a bit of water from my flask on them. Enjoy, weeds! Every step I take up the stairs makes a noise far too loud for my tactical liking. I mean, you are in a place that is basically falling apart, sort of, so... Possibly falling apart. Technically should be abandoned, sort of thing, right? Except for the supposed witch being there. So... maybe the witch is taking care of the place, actually. And that's why it's not falling apart. Who knows? There is pretty dusty too, so it's a miracle I haven't started sneezing yet. Every floor I peek through, a window between apartments and catch sight of the forest behind dirty glass. This place might have been nice back in its day, but it felt a bit claustrophobic now. There doesn't seem to be any sign of recent changes on the inside of the building. Vet tracks for the residential apartments are all on the outside, so any squatter would likely have bypassed this area entirely. Reaching the door to the roof, I catch my breath. This is where things got a bit more dangerous. I reach for my gun in its holster. Interesting that you have like a cross at the end of it. It's small and metallic and unmistakably a weapon. Placing my bare thumb on the activation switch, I close my eyes. Why would you close your eyes? There is a tram of energy as my skin starts to tingle and my nerves twitch. The aura suffuses my body, spreading its blessing throughout. This is the only way we handlers can fight witches. A sacred firearm from the church's armory. Blessed firearms charge our body with magic temporarily and let us move with superhuman speed and strength. But the dangerous energy can be ejected, unlike the magic pulsing inside witches. There's a difference between us and them. Witches are born with magic and have no way to limit or regulate it. They need people like us to take them into custody, where they can be safe and no threat to society. Come on, you are literally putting them in jail. Don't make it sound like you're doing a good thing. I'm not a zealot, but this is all for the greater good. Is it, for? Is it? I mean, if the circumstances of your birth make you a threat, it's only logical to accept you have to make sacrifices. I mean, how come we are not doing towards... Sandmen, then? We should be doing that. I support that movement. We don't ask witches for much anyway. There is debris everywhere. Rotten and disintegrating boxes and packing crates mostly. The people who lived here left in a hurry, leaving plenty behind for scavengers. I even noticed a few discarded, dust-covered trinkets that probably still be usable. The rooms are all empty. Some have the entranceways filled up with furniture that was too heavy to shift. Others have been boarded up on the assumption they might have had value again one day. The ones I can get into are just empty rooms. Dingy, damp, lonely. I clear the first floor quickly. Gray and Lacey will be around the first floor by now, assuming everything went fine. Wait, but you were supposed to start from the top. Whatever. The fourth floor feels different. I immediately notice a few footprints on the layer of dust on the balcony. It looks like it came up from below. Huh? Wheeling my blessed gun's magic inside me to tense my nerves, I begin to move silently. It's something you can do with a lot of training in blessed enhancement techniques, for it can be exhausting for your muscles. I was always better at it than anyone else in my cohort. Let's go! A few steps around the corner of the balcony, I get hit with something I didn't expect. The soft word spell of meat cooking. My mouth twitches despite my situation. I hadn't really had a good meal in a while. The rations handlers get are pretty embarrassing compared to army meals. I quickly shake my senses back to readiness. The smell's coming out from the room ahead. I even see a light on the wall lit up. This must be the place. Carefully, slowly, I approach the open door. The smell is quite strong and I can hear the bubbling of liquid and the sound of a cooktop. I hold the gun tightly in my hand and say a prayer. Oh Lord, I'm about to do your work. I would really appreciate if I didn't die. I say this in my head all the time. It's about others' religious, I get. Yeah. I hope it counts for something. I step around the corner into the room.
Whoa! Don't move! Oh, I surrender!
It's a girl. She's my age, judging by her face. Her clothes are bulky and battered. She's dressed like a survivalist. Her face is frightened and bewildered. My eyes flick from her hands holding a wooden spoon to the portable cooker and saucepan on the unfolded card table in front of her. There's a small bag next to the wall and a dubious-looking extension cable running from the cooker into the next room.
This building is now under investigation by the witch handlers. Identify yourself. My name is Abby? I'm sure it's a short for something. Abigail, maybe? You know what it's short for? Well, my mother passed away when I was little and I don't remember if she ever said what it was short for. All I remember is Abby. Huh?
This was an awkward situation I walked into. At first I thought she might be a suspect, but now I feel bad for even talking to her. Well, it might just be a misdirection. I cast my enhanced senses around, but the other rooms are empty. Witches normally generate magical weights this close when they use magic, so if any of them were trying to conceal themselves with magic, I'd notice.
Am I in trouble?
She's looking at the wooden spoon like she's been caught with a deadly weapon. It'd be cute if I was in the combat mode. At any rate, she doesn't seem like a threat, so I'll try to relax her. I deactivate my blessed tech field for now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you. My squad suspected someone was squatting here and we had reason to investigate it already. Would that be you? Oh no, I didn't realize someone lived here. I just thought it'd be a good shelter. Are all these blocks off limits? Not really. I mean, technically yes, it's squatting, but since they've all been abandoned, it's not like they can enforce eviction laws. I see. That's good, because I just started cooking. I caught the deer the other day, and I'm gonna eat the flabby fatty bits in a stew. Would you like some? Wait, you caught a deer? Where do you live normally?
The girl shrugs and waves her arms around. I get a feeling, but she's homeless. No wonder she's clueless about the ways of the world.
I see. You know, we're down here. We could escort you to the city. They have shelters you can stay in, and the church is always looking for new recruits. I could, but I was born out here in the wilderness. I think I'm happier on my own.
She doesn't seem very enthused. I'm not surprised. Anyone who spent their entire life... Wait, hang on. Our objective assigned to us by the commander was to secure the block for a witch trial once she arrived. If she's the only person here...
I knew I smelled something good. Yo, Collie, is this the squatter?
Gray and Lacey enter. They've both got their blessed tech fields on. I wave them over. It's probably good they're both here, since I'm going to ask the... obvious.
Abby? Are you a witch? Yeah? Question mark?
My comrade stands up immediately. I kind of saw it coming. This girl in the middle of nowhere. Looking healthy. It must be her. I send out an air of calmness. Let's not make things turn violent if we don't have to.
Our squad was sent here to take care of a witch. Our commander is going to be arriving soon and she'll contact the trial. Will you cooperate peacefully? It will go on your record for when you transfer to rehab. Oh yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for. I was told to wait. Told? By handler? I guess so. They had a similar uniform to yours. I was half asleep at the time. Anyway, I would cause trouble. You free want some deer stew?
The self-proclaimed witch sits back down to her meal and returns to cooking. I'm not sure she really understands what she's agreeing to, but it's not like she has a choice. Witches are dangerous. Witches are unpredictable. I turn to my companions and beckon them out onto the balcony.
She's a weird one. No shite. The last two witches we helped subdue were rambling nutjobs. This one's so friendly it's off-putting. Maybe it's a trick. We can treat her badly for. The doctor is clear we treat her well if she behaves well.
Oh, doctrine.
It's possible she has a genuine understanding of her position and I want to believe in her. Yeah.
I glance back inside. The small, goofy-looking girl notices me gaze and gives me a smile and a wave. My heart feels murky. This is for her own good. Is it? Right? Is it for? Is it? It's cool. The wind rushes through the forests and gushes against the balcony, making loose panels groan and wobble. I'm leaning on the railing, my eyes on the city in the distance. It's huge, looming above the trees and shining like a jewel. There is something like 1 million people living there, working, listening to radio plays, praying, going out. At least in the more affluent parts. I'm not actually from the city, or at least I wasn't born there. My mother was a church sister that worked in the poorer areas. She got pregnant, fell ill, passing away right after I was born. Oh, that's terrible. The church took me in and I was raised in a youth camp, where most orphan children end up. They teach you life skills and scout out jobs in the church for you. It's how I ended up on the track to the handlers. The camp. It was out in the grasslands by a lake. There was an army garrison nearby, so we always felt safe, and the soldiers would come and play with us all the time. I remember Trena, and I would get piggyback rides from those big grass men, looking very silly as they messed about with us kids. I think Trena was already aiming for the handlers. Even back then, she was my surrogate older sister. Somehow I latched onto tightly, and when she left to enlist, I was horribly lonely. Of course, that spurred me into joining the handlers myself when I came of age. But and I'd been convinced it was a worthy job. Public order seemed important. I was so happy when I transferred into her unit. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I can see that.
Wow, look at you, Cole. All grown up and out of the diapers. Mom, I'm not ready for duty. I'm not a little girl anymore, Mom. I know. I'm going to work you hard, handler.
And she did. I was pushed to my limit, always forced into dangerous exercises and made to lead all the time. The other girls resented me for it. They called me the commander's lapdog. Some even spread the rumor I was her personal lover. I mean... Surely you didn't complain about if that was true. Picked because I looked boyish. I'd spent an hour crying in a toilet cubicle when I heard that. What? I do love Trena. As a sister, yes. But also just as a confidant. Whenever we were off duty, she'd listen to me. She's the only person I've ever told about my dreams. She'd ask me all sorts of questions about them, which made me feel more comfortable sharing them with her, when I talked about them more. Interesting ones. She just smiled and given me a wink. I always wondered what she meant by that, but was too afraid to ask. Oh, come on, girl. Trena's supposed to be arriving tomorrow sometime. She'd given us the orders to assemble here, ahead of the main force. Oof. I don't know, I was worried that was some kind of situation where she basically, you know, kicked the calendar, as we say in Poland. But seems like she's alive. That's good. I think handle trials require specialists, so it would make sense they take longer to escort. Our squad, Dog Muffin. What the name? Was here to ensure Abby didn't escape. Abby. She doesn't seem like much of a witch, but maybe she's just hiding it well. I'll err on the side of caution for now. What? I'll err? What is this supposed to mean? Whatever. Polite but restrained. The best way to interact with the world.
Enjoying the view, squad leader?
Just thinking, how's our VIP?
Oh, she's still being as doofy and calm as she was when we arrived. It's funny, those witches we dealt with on our first missions made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end, but Abby's so harmless. Are we even sure she's a witch?
I mean, she did say so.
Unless she's like incredibly desperate for shelter, there is no reason for anyone to pretend to be a witch. And she's got all that survival camping gear, so I don't think that's it.
Witches generate magic externally only when they use their powers, or when they're preparing to use them. With our blast tech, we can detect those fluctuations in space-time and react accordingly. Abby is completely clean, but that just means she's not actively emitting.
You think Grey will be alright with her? She's unreliable? Reckless? Sloppy?
No, I imagine that's you, to be honest.
Wow, you're not holding back. I'm just joking. I like Grey. She's the pee-pee sneeze-inducing spice in our squad's pizza. It would be too mild without someone like her.
What a comparison.
If she's the spice, what am I? Well, pretty plain yet reliable, so I guess you're ready to go? And you can be the cheese? Wait, but then who's the meat?
Our conversation goes on like this for a bit longer. Lacey used to be more polite and proper, but Trena's constant jokes rubbed off on her. Oh, so she was like a complete stuck-up. Oof. She looks up to our commander and tries to emulate her, whereas I'm just trying to be good enough for Trena's purposes. I think that's a sign of how differently we see ourselves in the world. And how differently you see the world, right? Lacey is confident enough to change her behavior in order to move forward. She's got a clear goal in mind. I don't, and I feel like I'm just paddling constantly to keep my head above water and my body at pace with the pack. Time passes. The standalone block is growing dimmer. The light is turning a bare number as it dances across the floor. The sun is sinking in the sky, and I feel my energy start to wane. Lacey broke off a bit ago and started patrolling the lower floors. I call out to her to come back. The room Abby had commanded is lit up as we arrive, the smell of home cooking wafting out. It's surprisingly calming. Grey waves to us as we arrive.
Good work. Did you have fun staring at nothing all day? Hey now, the view is pretty blue and the breeze puts you at ease. Lace, what did that tell you about rhyme? But it's a crime! Ah! Anything to report on your end?
Grey shrugs and jerks a thumb over her shoulder. I look in and see Abby reading a battered old book while her pod barbles away.
I mean, Abby's fine, I guess. We talked a bit, but she didn't have much to say. She just told me some weird anecdotes.
I feel like there is something Grey's not telling me. It's a hunch. She normally complains way more than this about everything she has to do. Maybe I'll ask her when I get a chance.
Alright, I guess we're turning in for now. Abby, when will your food ready? Oh, is it okay? Should we really be eating that?
Oh yeah, now that you mentioned it, I think for a moment.
Okay, Abby, can you taste test everything for us first? Not to judge you or anything. Oh, no problem. I get it, you guys are just doing your jobs. Phew. I thought you were going to make us eat rations for a second there. She may be a witch, but she's a good-ass cook. Language!
I glance at the table and plates and cups are set out. To be fair, I do understand in a way why someone would complain about the usage of language, yeah? Have I said that? That basically is why I don't like Polish women. Because they curse a lot. I can't stand that. Meanwhile, me cursing a lot as well while recording, for example, right? Anyway. It feels like the mood of our serious witch hunting squad has gone down the drain. I mean, I understand occasionally it happening, right? Obviously. I would say I don't really curse a lot in my day-to-day life. When I'm recording, happens, yes. But honestly, sometimes you walk down the street and you see someone basically using a curse. You know what curse in Polish language? Like every 5 words, that's just ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, that's probably not good. Yeah, it is not good. It's up to me to stay serious and make sure nothing happens. Abby looks up at me and smiles. I force a grimace back. You won't get your hooks in that easily, witch. If you're truly going to cooperate, that's great. But we won't know for sure until you're loaded on the skiff and out of here. I'm not laying my guard down until then. There's something dripping somewhere. It's not the faucet. I checked it when I came into the bathroom. It might be the pipe somewhere behind the walls, or maybe the shower head. There is some mold on the wall of the shower cubicle. I could scrub it off, but we're not staying long enough for it to matter. I turned the water on, the handle screeching on its rusty hinge. The first thing Abby did when she arrived was set up the generator and turn on the hot water. I think the whole thing runs on a rainwater tank. She must have drained it from the control room in the basement, then refilled it during the shower a few days ago. The standalone blocks had a lot of automated systems since they were out here in the wilderness. I pulled my clothes off and catch a glimpse of my lanky body in a faded mirror. I've got my muscles, but they don't really define my appearance. Nothing does. I'm unassuming, to put it politely. People used to call me a tomboy when I was younger. But now they just call me a butch, or on one occasion a boy with breasts. Why? That one hurt. I might go to train over it. I placed my ribbon on the counter next to my uniform. It was... also, what is wrong with tomboys? Tomboys are great. It was a gift from her, saying it'd make me look cuter and girlier. It doesn't suit me at all, but it's precious to me. To be honest, it also makes me feel anxious. I'm not the ribbon. It's like lipstick on a pig. I'm thankful to God that nobody ever comments on it. The hot water feels good to my body. The grit and sweat and dampness that's accumulated washes away. I use a bit of a liquid disinfectant from the first aid kit in lieu of soap. It's not right, but it makes me smell a bit less. I'm grateful there is a towel in our camping gear.
Collie, can I come in?
I stayed suddenly aware of my nudity that luckily enough is hidden by the dev themselves. I wasn't expecting Gray to come to me.
Yeah, I'm washing my hair, but you can come in. Oh great, it's my turn next, right? Yeah.
I shouldn't care about being naked in front of Gray. We're both supposed to be serious handlers. Her eyes flick over me like a hawk in a way that makes my mind flinch. Oh, what was that about?
Oh, you have pretty good legs. I'm surprised.
I mean, you can see them still, even without,
Huh? Oh, yeah, thanks. What did you want to talk about?
For to be fair, I would choose Gray here.
It's about Abby. When I was with her elder, we talked and I'm a bit conflicted, I guess.
Gray jumps on the counter. She shakes her head and half smiles. I squared some of the shampoo I got from Abby into my hands and beckoned her to continue.
It's just like shite. She's so normal. Apparently she goes around collecting old books and magazines from abandoned blocks and spends her time reading them and hunting and being super chill. She's not at all like any witch I've ever heard of. You know what I mean. Well, we've only encountered 2 of them, right?
Gray's voice is a bit different from normal. I'm not sure how to place it. Yeah, but even in the files, it's like they're either rebellious hedonists or just dumb kids who cause trouble because they know any better. Remember the Western Vandal? I know that. That was a witch who'd spent years sneaking into the city and breaking expensive things for fun until she got killed in confrontation. The report said she'd had some sort of personality disorder from magic and isolation. Another reason we handlers were so important. To prevent that sort of tragic self-destruction. I mean, obviously there is more to this. Abby could be playing us all. Lace could be being ambushed right now while we're... Whoa, okay, stop right there. Don't jinx it, don't! Sorry, but you know what I mean, right? She's just so calm and friendly, and I feel like I've met her 10 times already. What? Great lads, I get where she's coming from. I'd better nip this in the bud. It could be a problem if she starts doubting herself. So are you going to let her escape or something? What? No. We've got orders. I'll bring her in even if she begs me not to. This is our job. Hey, you sounded really divided on this. Oh, I am. Morally I'm conflicted as freak, but I'm still going to go along with what the commander tells me to do. Like I'm from a fairly well-off family. You know that, right? We live fairly high up in the city and we've got connections. Nothing major, for. I know! Your family's in construction planning, right? Yep, they are definitely well. Money-wise. We're always trying to get a leg up in the hierarchy. That's always saying he wants one of his kids to end up on the council. That's why I joined the handlers. I'm gonna try and get some big successes in a high-ranking position. If I hit any ceilings, I'll slip my way up and marry a big shot. Oh no, please, no, oh. No, Gray, no. I thought you were best girl, but now you are dropping. You are no longer a best girl. That's just being a bitch. She says it so matter-of-factly her ambition will be intimidating. You shouldn't spend most of your time complaining about everything. I keep that thought of myself. Solving those thoughts about Abby. It's a pretty freaking irritating. She's a witch, witches go to rehab, problem solved. I get more stickers on my monthly write-up. I don't want to be around her if she's going to make me feel guilty. Oh, now I see. Gray wants me to keep her away from Abby. I feel a bit gross now. I didn't expect her to be this thin-skinned over our job. Maybe I can try and give her advice. I mean, I empathize your feelings, Gray. I'm also a bit turned off by her harmlessness. Turned off? Ha, that's a funny choice of words. Ahem. Anyway, we can't really afford to not have all three of us in action on this. So I can take the next shifts with Abby for you. I may need to have you supervise her again depending on when the commander arrives. Shit, fine. It was worth asking for. Wait. I do have some advice for. Maybe you could try compartmentalizing this. Compartment what? Compartmentalization. It means you stuff everything you're thinking about into little boxes in your head and only deal with them one at a time. Ridiculous word. It's a pretty natural skill. You're probably doing it right now by not thinking about everything at once. It's just that Abby's weirdness as a witch is making her leak out of your witch box. So if you try reminding yourself that she's just something you can deal with and shouldn't worry about, you should be able to, say, stuff her back in her box and forget about any issues with her. Gray's brow froze. I can see the neurons firing. Her face is pretty in a mean way. I throw that thought into my own mind box. Not now. Alright, I'll give it a shot. And I'll warn you, she can talk a lot. Make sure don't get swept up like I did. So are you going to get out so I can shower now? No, I'm gonna stay here. I look down and realize I'm still naked, but in clothes. I swear under my breath I hurriedly climb out of the shower, drying myself off and handing my towel to Gray. She starts scraping off as I leave. Did you catch a glimpse? No? I step out, ribbon in my hand. I can see Abby sleeping in her sleeping bag already, and Lacey is leaning against the wall, yawning. I go behind the canvas sheet Lacey hung up outside the bathroom and pulled my underwear back on, which had been hanging next to my stinky uniform. To be honest, I felt pretty sick telling Grey to throw away her misgivings like that. To be honest, I read that. But she took it to it on her own. She's not the most faithful person when it comes to doctrine. That's me. Let alone religion, that's also me. So she needs that sort of unpleasant reinforcement to control her. Or rather, enable her. I don't really like this mission. I'm fine with holding in wild women and power mad teenagers, but maybe Abby is the exception that proves the rule. I need to get used to this. I look down the ribbon in my hand. I'm probably going to have to stomach a lot worse. Also, another night. Another dream. Klesso's been appearing in my sleep often lately. Normally I have about 3 dreams every 2 weeks. Sometimes more, sometimes less. When I first hit puberty, I had 1 every week. They were pretty intense and left me feeling pretty ashamed. Nowadays I'm used to seeing Klesso's various guises. Having 2 in a row was a bit unusual for. This time I dreamed I was in a jail cell. The walls were as cold as ice. I kept calling out for someone, but nobody answered. So I tried to climb out a window, which turned into a tunnel and got smaller and smaller, crushing my body! It felt like I was in there forever, until a hand appeared and pulled me towards a distant light. I know it was Klessa. It always is. Her face and clothes were different again. This time she was old and frail. But she still smiled at me in that way of hers, the way that gets under my skin. Then she vanished and I found myself awake in my sleeping bag, tears in my eyes and a lump in my throat. I shook it off and dragged myself upright. Emotions can freak off! I glance around the room and see Lacey sitting down, chewing on some rations. She nods to me and points out towards the door where Abby is leaning against the railing. I tell Lacey to go join Grain on patrol. I'll handle Abby this morning.
Sleep well?
I don't really know, I was asleep. Huh?
It's a joke. It was an attempt, I guess.
Abby grinds at me. She was fairly jittery and meek when we first arrived, but seems to have calmed down and gotten casual. Almost too casual.
You know, you said you were a wandering vagrant, right? You seem pretty comfortable being around people for someone who's supposed to be a loner. I'm not always a loner. There's a lot of little communities on the fringes of the city, if nowhere to look. And I've been happy to stay among fellow travelers for parts of my life.
Which communities?
It's possible I didn't ask and they didn't say. I read in a book that sort of guarded community develops between highly stressed individuals. They can't survive without cooperation, but can't take the risk of letting their guard down. Sovereign has an aura of distance. Wait, what sort of book was that? It doesn't sound like anything from the city. No idea. The cover was too dirty to read. I fished out of a ruined shopping center of some kind pretty far from here. You can find a lot of older buildings between the trees. Standalone blocks are easy to spot, but you gotta dig for the neat stuff, you know. Not really. My job is about orders and directions. I don't have any archaeological survey skills. Whoa, you know some big words too.
This girl, she's talking indirect nonsense. I'd like to get some actual answers out of her. I pulled myself a bit closer. The wind has dropped and the warming air carries the sound of insects up to us. I feel more aware of how alone we are. She's within arm's length.
Hey, can I ask you something?
She turns and looks at me. Now that I'm this close, her face is rather striking. She's cute, but in a sort of devilish way. Why devilish? Her eyes look like they're backlit somehow.
What?
I blink and turn away, snuffing the fuse out in my head.
You can ask. I can divulge strategic information for... Do you like girls? Freaking hell, there goes my composure! I feel like someone boxed me in the ear.
It takes everything I have to keep my fists wrapped around the railing and not cover my face in embarrassment.
Phew! Okay. Deep breath. You can do this.
How the hell did she? You can do this?
Why do you say that? You aren't trying to stereotype because I look like a tomboy, are you? No. It's the way you have a sort of stressed gaze when you look at women. It's like there's a timer in your head telling you not to stare at girls too long or they'll notice you are ogling them and notice it right away. I am not going to dignify that weird little hypothesis with a response. Is this what you wilderness urchins do for fun? Pick on people's sexuality?
What?
No!
I just thought you might like to talk about it. See, I read in this book about gender identity and sexual expression. When people exhibit a minority affinity in either they build up stress about it. It tears them down because they'd hate to appear not normal.
And what imaginary building did you fish this magical book out of?
Abby just keeps grinning at me. I feel my cheeks flush and let out a wail inside my head.
Shut up, fool! I don't want to think about this! Yes, I know I fantasize about women in my dreams. But that's probably just because I've never really gotten close with any man. How could I? I'm a handler. The organization is all female.
Actually, think about it. Maybe you're stressed because you're surrounded by women so much. Why are there no men in your organization anyway?
Did she read my mind? I think it's because we just are all female. The church sets our group the task of bringing wayward women afflicted by magic back in the fold, so naturally we'd be able to bond with them through our shared solidarity.
In other words, you hunters and us witches are two groups of women being forced into conflict with each other. I blink. What? I thought she was compliant with rehabilitation. Where did that come from? I'm getting a bit wary.
That's not right. Our leadership is female. We operate under our own rules and jurisdiction to apprehend witches. You make it sound like there is men standing a few feet from us holding the chain.
But the handlers take orders from the church, don't they? Who runs the church?
The council. The city fathers and the high priests.
Aha! Fathers! Menfolk! I don't like where this is going. She's getting abrasive. I swallow my apprehension and push back.
There are women in the council, I think. At least 3. Anyway, your idea fails because we're not supposed to the witches. Our true goal is to help people, including you and your kind. Your magical powers are dangerous, not just to other people, but to letting you have a happy life. We can help.
I hold her gaze. She can't use the gay stress reaction thing now. What a line for you to say, girl. Even if I definitely do feel stressed looking at those bright little orbs in her head. I'm not going to do that sound. Not a chance.
Okay. Sorry for dumping everything on you. I'm just curious, that's all. I like asking people thorny questions and saying provocative things because it lets me see what they're really like. And what am I really like to you?
Someone who genuinely believes in what she does.
And probably is into girls. Oh fuck, okay, sure, you got me, is that weird?
Not at all. A lot of witches are lesbians. You kind of need to be if you want to get off out here.
What?
This conversation took a turn. I rubbed the bridge of my nose.
So wait, you too?
Oh, are you propositioning me the day before my trial? Trying to give me a night to remember?
Sorry, but I'm still keeping you at arm's length. You could do some weird magic on me.
Oh, that kind of magic, she says. Watch out, hunters. This witch has the power to make her certain part of body spin.
Oh no, what is so powerful against your rotating flesh naps? Our organization is undone.
I'm smiling. Abby's still a dangerous, weird witch, potentially. But she's okay. For now. Okay. Oh? Whoa! What's going on? So I'm currently sweating profusely. Lacey stands opposite to me, using the strength generated from the blessed egg to shove several boxes out of the way. What? They are rotten and soggy, but their contents are just as solid as they were. Ever were, requiring some strength to shift. I give Ren'Py a sharp kick and it goes over in a loud smash. There was something fragile in there. It's broken now. Lacey and Daddy in the basement. Earlier when I'd passed Abby over to Grey, one of the breakers on the electric grid was flipped, so since Lacey and I were on a patrol, we came down to have a look. According to Abby, the witch had found the generator near the entrance, but when we entered it, turned out the actual switchboard was some ways in. We'd been shunting garbage out of the way to get to it, and once we finally turned it back on, made the stupid decision to try the rear exit. 20 minutes and a good deal of exhausting shifting of debris later, we finally pushed back out in the sunlight. The breeze feels wonderful on my skin and drenched uniform. I shake my hair and splatter sweat droplets everywhere like a dog. Fitting considering my squad's name. True.
Well, he should have doubled back. There was no reason to clear the other exit.
Actually, you never know. Maybe you will need to use it.
But does it feel good to clean it all out? Like you've accomplished something? It's just an abandoned corridor in the basement of a derelict building. Nobody's ever going to appreciate that. It's not about appreciation, Collie. It's about imposing order and correcting chaos. Like it says in the Third Communion, a clean world promotes a clean soul.
Can I... I mean, it would be nice if the world was clean, but... The fact that you mentioned the telecommunion again, can I go and throw up?
I get it, but I prefer to do things that matter to people. It's why I joined the handlers.
Well, partially. The other part was to chase Trena, but I do believe in what the handlers do.
The people are part of the God's world, for if you demonstrate his principles in all things, then the world for people will improve.
Sure.
And you're right, we handlers are part of the cleansing process. We take the chaos of witches and restore his natural order.
Sure.
Or so it says in the manual.
Lacey's voice dropped an octave there. I start to walk up the stairs and she joins me.
To be honest, you probably noticed what Grey was telling me about her misgivings of the way you're putting Abby on trial when she seems so harmless. Not enough for Grey to actually consider going against orders, of course. Grey's like that. She's always cheeky and rambunctious, but she won't cause too much trouble because it would affect her drive. I think that's actually pretty honorable, you know. Oh, you two fight so much, I'd think you'd have a bad opinion of her. Of course not! Grey isn't exactly pious or strong of heart, but she fundamentally understands the reason the handlers exist and why you crave order and peace for society. Even if it puts individuals at a disadvantage.
Lacey stops to look up at the sky. The wind catches her hair and makes her look rather dashing even to me. Oh god, I keep thinking about girls. Thanks so much, Abby, you brainworms. Biatch.
God's greatest gift to us is something we maintain ourselves. Society.
Can I go and throw up again? The things she's saying, disgusting.
We all love freedom, but coming to the rest of society means we have to sacrifice part of that freedom. By giving up parts of ourselves, we make the greater whole a happier, healthier place to live. If people can't accept that, they project freedom on others that create chaos and disorder.
I mean, technically that's what you are bringing to the witches if you think about it. But you're not giving up yourselves, but someone else. Just saying.
That's the problem with the witches that act out. They only need to make a small sacrifice and live a comfortable, sheltered life. You've seen the documentaries. Their capacity is well stocked and practically cushy compared to some of the slums. I've heard they've had people faking magic just to get in. I've heard of that, but I don't know anyone who's ever actually been to the facility, so who knows what they actually think of it there. I think that the issue, for Grey, at least, is that Abby seems perfectly in control of her magic and is not a threat. Why should she be placed in protective custody? Ah, but it's also part of society. Equality. If we played favorites with some witches, we'd have to extend the olive branch to others. If you give them leeway, they will exploit it. After all, a lot of them grew up hard in the wild, so they're stuck on survival mode thinking. They need to be reeducated.
Do they, huh? Do they? I hear a peal of distant thunder. There seems to be a dark cloud on the horizon, but it doesn't look like it's blowing this way. Lynx pulls out the lacquer and shows it to me. It's battered but well cared for. She shoves it back in her pocket before I can get a closer look.
I volunteered in the poorest parts of the city, so I've seen what disorder, violence and poverty can do firsthand.
I mean, it's not just that, to be honest. It's not just because it's the poorest part of the city, to be honest.
Those people are especially vulnerable to a witch looking for food or shelter with no understanding of how the world works. I want to protect them now. I know. Abby may be fine now, but she could go out of control anytime. There's something we don't understand about witch magic. We're practically doing her a favor by taking her in. She'll be safer. Get to read books in peace and meet some friends. Everyone's better off. Blah, blah, blah.
This gives me what's mine. She's shockingly sweet at times. It gives me a toothache.
Now you're getting it. If an inherent trait makes you a threat to the system, then the system needs you to put you into a framework where you're best suited.
I don't like her thinking. That's such a Chinese thinking, I would say. If you know what I mean, basically, you know. Not really the place where you would want to live. It feels like that, at least. I don't believe in that, basically.
It's like the precept about accepting your socio-economic role in the telecommunion, but with fireballs instead of taxes.
What? I realize Lacey's right to an extent. I understand her argument, but it does make my stomach feel uncomfortable. I guess this is a case where the more sympathetic you are, the less qualified you are to cast judgment. I shove it down. It's not my place to make a fuss. I just hope the next witch we take in is a raving lunatic so I don't have to deal with these shitty gut emotions.
Hey!
Grey waves to us from above. Her face is alert. Something's up.
What's wrong? Did Abby run for it?
No. She's literally asleep on the floor for some reason. There's someone approaching from the forest in the south. I spin towards the balcony and scan the tree line. A tall figure is approaching alone. She's in Handel garb. I know that silhouette anywhere. I guess our time at the block will be coming to an end soon. Did I just hear another rumble of thunder?
Sup, guys? You're looking good. You smell terrible, Fa. And who are we supposed to blame for that, boss? Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
We escorted Trena up to Abby's room when she arrived. The commander is surprisingly clean, which means she probably landed a skiff near here. This must be where the rest of the hunters for the trial are. I'm happy to see her, for her manners are as terrible as ever.
It's good to see you, Commander. Squad Dog Muffin. It's all present and accounted for, and the objective is secure. So I see. You've been such a good subordinate throughout your short career, Collie. You said it like she's some veteran who's about to retire. You've only been out of training like 4 months. I guess the commander wants to commend her officer on a successful solo outing.
Trena stretches and walks around the room. Abby's sleeping in the back. I'll go wake her up in a minute. Trena will want to talk to her. The commander stops for and looks at Abby scumping back on the floor.
This isn't regulation gear. Did one of you find this? Oh, that's Abby's. She's out back if you want me to go wake her up, Amanda. Abby? Who's Abby?
Huh?
I mean, it's the name of the witch, the one who we were supposed to secure? She says it's shorter for something, but...
Trena's brow furrows. She glanced at me all of a sudden. Probing. Did we do something wrong?
Hang on. I told you to head to this block and prepare for a witch trial, yes? Yes, Commander. Incidentally, when will the other handlers be arriving? Did you come ahead of them?
Oh, don't tell me you think maybe the 3 of them are witches or something. Or maybe just Collie is a witch. That would be absolutely nuts. Anyway, so actually, funny story. Wouldn't you believe that their skiff had engine trouble? Or maybe Trena is the witch, because... I mean, the lightning started when she appeared and so on? I don't know. The specialists got stuck and then some bigwig ordered them to fill in for another squad and told me to just run the trial on my own. It's pretty wild, huh? That's not what I was expecting. I thought the hunters were more thorough about documentation and evidence. Conducting a field trial sounds really haphazard.
Oh, in that case, Commander, will we just do the trial now? Wait, now? Girls, please, before that. This witch you say you found.
That would be me. There is a chill in the air. All of us spin around and look towards the door. Abby's standing there. Her usual smile is darker. She looks way more alert. Is she reacting to Trena? Or is this just her real face?
Oh, so you're the witch that's meddling in my affairs, are you? Hey, Commander, what do you mean by that? She means what she said, honey. I wasn't your target. I wasn't even supposed to be here.
Abby grins at me. Trena follows her gaze and her eyes narrow at mine. What are you looking at me like that for, Trena? I didn't know she was tricking us.
Nothing is ever simple, is it? So I'm guessing you intercepted the radio transmissions I sent the girls from HQ back when I gave them the orders. That must make you the scanner or an agent of hers.
I feel my blood run cold.
Wait! You meant the chief, that one? The one that disrupts communications and hacks into army lines? She's the one? Yep, that's me. I didn't come up with scanner. It's a bit lame, to be honest. But I'm absolutely what you're looking about. Surprised, I guess.
Oh, so I guess my assumptions were completely off the mark.
Some freaking surprise. I knew you were up to no good.
My heart's pumping. This whole situation got a lot more dangerous than I expected. Even with 4 handlers, all armed with blessed guns, we're up against an actual dangerous criminal witch. I can't believe it's Abby. She was so docile. It was all a feint to get under our skin. I'm not going to give her any more chances to...
Abby, Scanner, whatever your name is, you're going to surrender and come with us!
I reach for my gun.
Wait. Stand down, Cole. Step back. That's a direct order. Gray, Daisy, you take point. Right!
Daisy and Gray look just as confused as I am as they step past me and raise their weapons. Why is Trena ordering me back? Does she want me in reserve? Is it because Abby wasn't supposed to be here? Wait, why were we here then?
Oh, God, don't torture the poor girl, Commander. She has no idea.
Yeah, okay, so it's us. Oh, they...
That's enough. I'll deal with her after I deal with you.
No, it's not us. Okay, what's going on? Trena pulls out her own firearm. She's an excellent shot with it.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
There's a pulse. We all know it's intimately brace. A dark, iridescent shell of magic appears around Abby. 4 or even 5 times stronger than our previous targets. Within the shell, Abby's voice gets louder.
3 handler girls are sent on a mission by their taskmaster to go to a distant location alone. Their taskmaster arrive alone and tells them that they will be conducting a witch trial with no witch expected. What could possibly be the answer here? You little cretin, don't you freaking dare! What's she talking about? Come on, you should tell her and maybe I'll go quietly.
Tell me what, why is this suddenly about me? Yep, they were trying to get rid of you.
Fine, you're right, it wouldn't be fair. Can we have a moment? Sure, no problem, at all the time you need.
A surreal scene unfolds. Abby's pulsating energy shield disappears and she leans back against the wall. She grins smugly as if she's got front row seats to the theater. Maybe she does. I'm getting a sinking feeling.
Oh, I just worked it out!
Yeah, I think I get it now. The two of them look at each other, then look at me. They take a step away. Trena walks up to me, her stern expression replaced with her usual friendly smile. Uh-oh. Oh no.
Collie, you and I, we've known each other for a long time.
Oh no. Oh no!
I've always treated you like a little sister, and even got you into the handler so you could work alongside me like you always wanted.
Please don't say it. I don't want to hear it.
But God likes to test us. He's going to test you quite a bit moving forward.
She gently puts her hand on my shoulder.
Collie, you're afflicted with innate either body suffusion.
I let out a low wail and fall to my knees.
In layman's terms, you are a witch.
Oh.
The only people who know are the matron and physician back at our Yov camp and myself. I confided in them after I figured it out.
Because of the dreams?
Witches are generally silent when it comes to magical energy before they awaken. But after a lot of research, the church found out that long-term monitoring can pick up a very subtle particles emission. Remember when I went around monitoring all the younger kids for weeks at a time? I remember.
I'd been so inspired by Trena, volunteering for the outreach program despite being an orphan herself.
I was actually using a small scanner I got from the army garrison. They offered me money and a path forward if I checked the other kids. In the city, it's considered a breach of rights against families. But out in the camps, they regularly do it.
Terry gives me a sad smile. I can see her brow wrinkling.
We're lucky I was the one doing it. A couple of other kids got transferred right away. I managed to convince Matron and her physician to let me handle you because I knew how devoted you were to me. I sponsored you into handlers too. No, my only goal was for you to enjoy as much of a career with me as you could before your powers emerged.
My voice croaks. I can speak properly. Oh, maybe that would explain why she's like the best with the weaponry and so on. My head is swimming.
Unfortunately, you told me about your dreams. What do my dreams have to do with? I'm sure the scanner could tell you. Interviews with captured witches over there said that they all commonly share recurring dreams about women. The more numerous and intense the dreams get, the closer they are to awakening. I'm sorry, Cole. I want you to have more freedom, but I knew I couldn't let you run wild like this, so let's set this mission up of the books. Nobody knows we're all here. Wait, so this is unauthorized? Correct, Grey. I've got a superior up the chain. I explained this to who's helping me. She's already wiped Collie's existence from our files and has a room booked at the facility for her. We burned Collie's uniform. Dress her up in comfortable clothes back on my skiff. Give her a new name. And bring her in as a cooperative witch. This way, nothing bad happens to my dear little sister. She gets to live safely under the church's watchful eye, and you to get a nice career boost to keep you quiet. It's the best way to solve this.
I feel like my heart's been punctured and my brain is leaking out. Someone tell me this is a big cruel joke at my expense. Where is the punchline? Am I the punchline? Big dumb brain dead handler girl is actually the witch. The audience laughs. Roll the credits.
This is all very sad, Commander. But you'll do it right, Collie?
Hey? Well, yeah, she's always been loyal to the Commander. Sucks that she's got to fall on her own sort or whatever, but Collie's always been a real believer in our organization.
You're a good girl, kind girl who's always been ready to sacrifice herself for the cause, Cole. Cole!
Oh, wrong voice, sorry.
You're a good, kind girl who's always been ready to sacrifice herself for the cause. Cole, I love you a lot, and I know it will be difficult, but I'm sure it will work out better than you think.
Give me the choice. Give me the choice.
Yeah. It's for the greater good.
Give me the choice! The greater good. No. Honestly, no. In situations like this, think about yourself. Fuck the greater good. The well-being of the city. To protect all the orphans I grew up alongside. The kindly matron, the sister who sang to us, the little girl who played on the pavement outside the Handler Training Center. For Gray and Lacey's families. For Trena's career. For me. That's right. Think about yourself. That's right. Listen to the voice. What part of this is for me? I chose this path to follow Trena, to go where she went. I love her. Always have. But I didn't choose to follow her to satisfy her. I chose to follow her to satisfy me, because I wanted to be around her, because I want to see what she does.
Cole, sweetie. Are you with me?
I hunted witches. I dragged them away to a comfortable little prison. It's fine. It's for the protection of society. So why am I not agreeing? I'm just doing what was done to them to myself. It's for the good of everyone. Not me, for everyone else. Why does that thought hurt me? Is because it impedes my freedom to choose my own path? Is that? Ah, so that's why the witches choose to remain outlaws. Why they flee from us. Why they hide in the wilderness. They want to be free, deign the consequences. And now I feel like part of me understands that.
Wait.
Trena tenses. Behind her, Abby's smug grin gets wider.
I don't want to be locked away. I know this is incredibly hypocritical of me. It hurts to say this, but isn't there any other option? Could I just live out here something? No. But why not? I'm still loyal to you, to the city too. No, you're a liability. I have to deal with you. It's out of my hands. This is the best I can do. Liability. Trena, it's me, Collie. We grew up together. You said I'm like your little sister. You're getting agitated. You need to calm down. But
Collie, please listen to Commander. She's talking sense.
You mean nonsense?
God put you in this test of faith for a reason.
Oh, fuck the God's test. Not gonna lie. He can go and shove it up his ass. Lacey looks at me like she's looking at a misbehaving child. Her face is too calm. We're comrades. Why doesn't she look more shaken?
I know it seems daunting, but if you're obedient and pure, I'm sure God will lead you to salvation.
Yeah, fuck his salvation, to be honest.
I can give you some readings in the communion that
we've got.
Huh? To hell we've got!
I don't fucking care about your stupid book! This is about me, right here, right now. This is my life you're talking about. How the fuck are you so goddamn calm? I'm just got my fucking freedom here and you're talking about fucking scripture readings!
They all immediately back up against the walls. Lacey's face has gone white and her smile is gone. I've never seen her look that angry. Grace started staring at me like I'm a ghost. Trena is giving me that same pitiful look.
Well, I'm sorry, Collie, but I can do anything more for you. You know that witches need to be placed in rehabilitation. You know why?
You're right, I know, I understand completely. It all makes sense to half of me. The side you raised,
But the other half,
The peals of thunder return, the battered window panes rattle, then the wind outside picks up. Alright, so she's awakening basically, that's what the thunder is about. Okay. The lights flicker above us.
I can't. I want to choose. I've robbed witches of this choice, and now I'm selfish enough to refuse the same fate I inflicted upon them. I'm the worst. Collie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it had to come to this.
Tren extends a hand one last time. I could take it, relax, let everything fall away from me. But I'm not going to.
I'm sorry too, but I'm going to fight!
The sound of several blessed fields powering up fills the air. Before I can raise mine, I feel the nose point of Lacey's gun at my back.
Surrender! Former squad leader!
Cold, too cold. I mean, as expected of someone too religious, too fast.
I guess that's it then, huh? Yep, you really fucked yourself over. Wow! Did you all just forget about me?
There is a massive blast of energy and the roiling darkness engulfs us. It's sticky, murky, and feels like I've been thrown into a smoke machine. There is a yelp and the pressure behind me is pulled away. Let's go! What?
Easy, princess.
The cloud of darkness clears. Abby is standing in front of me. Her hood has been pulled back, and a pair of wigged horns stick out of her head. Were those always there? Beyond her, Grace helping a Daisy Lacey to her feet.
Sorry to interrupt this tragic little shit show, but I'm not going to let you bully my junior Bayachin training here.
I blink. Is she talking about me? Trina steps forward and points her gun at Abby. It starts glowing with its own energy.
Collie, she's a terrorist, don't listen to her. Aye. No time for this crap. Let's go, rookie.
Before I can protest or even react, Abby somehow moves behind me faster than my eye can track. Her arms swing around my back and legs and knock me off my feet. She catches me, holding me up effortlessly. It must be some sort of strength boosting magic I can't break free.
Wait, Cole. Let go of her.
Abby laughs and turns to the window. There's a crackle above my head that shakes my eardrums. A bolt of black energy spits out from her horns and blasts the entire wall open. Plaster, brick and concrete chunks rattle down the side of the building as Abby vaults into the open air.
Here we go, princess!
And the retort I would have had was left in my stomach, back on the floor of the block we just jumped out of. Ugh. The ground comes up way too fast and there's a horrible smack of inertia as Abby lands unnaturally lightly. There is another ripple of magic waves as she suddenly starts running over the field, still carrying me like a helpless damsel.
Are they following? Why are asking me? Because they're after you, dumb fuck.
I ignore the insult and crane my neck over Abby's shoulder, bouncing wildly. There is 3 flashes of secret energy as the other handlers land and start chasing after us. Judging by the ballistic pulse rate, they're at a full combat speed. Of course they are. They're after 2 wanted witches. Shit, how did this happen? Am I really a witch? I've never felt like I could do magic at any point in my life. I've just followed orders, done what I was told. The only thing weird about me is those dreams about that woman. And that's what did me in. That!
How close are they? I mean, they'll be on us in a few minutes, maybe 3. Wait, why am I helping you? I'm helping you, you dipshit!
We land in the middle of an open space. It may be dark, but I recognize it. It's the construction yard we came through on our way to the block. Abby immediately skids to a halt. Her momentum carrying me out of her hands and throwing me to the floor.
Oh shit, sorry. This is going to be where we make our stand. You'd better find cover. You can't possibly hold off 3 handlers at once! Probably not, but I can't get away if I'm carrying you either. What? Why go so far to save me?
She looks at me thoughtfully. Our pursuers crest their eyes, weapons ready. They fan out in a triple-pronged attack pattern.
I just thought it'd be nice for you to have someone on your side, I guess.
With that, she turns towards the incoming storm. Her energy shield powers up, but it's too slow. The three handlers firing from alternate angles, their bullets impacting her shield in 3 points simultaneously. The magic imbued blast bullets combined with the penetrating effect of high power chemical acceleration cause a breach. The whole bubble of magic implodes, then bursts outwards. Everything goes white. I feel pain everywhere. My ears ring. As my vision clears, I hear groaning nearby. I think I hit my shoulder when I was thrown backward. It's not broken, but it's sore. There is a huge ditch in front of me, and beyond it I see Lacey, Trena, and Grey all collapsed. They were all hit by the same thing I was.
Shit.
I look over and see Abby. She's been hurt. The bloody pack on the shield must have knocked her entire core out of whack. She tries to get to her feet repeatedly, but dizzily slams back each time. She's vulnerable. I suddenly become aware of the gun in my holster. I still have a choice how to live my life, don't I? I could prove to them, prove to everyone, to Trina. All I need to do is save Abby. Come on. Come on. A cold breeze creeps across my skin. Stop, Collie. Stop and think. You need to think clearly about your situation. Okay, think. What do I need? What do I want to do? Leave? Obviously. Leave free. I followed Trena into the handlers of my own free will, and now I'm trying to get out. Who's going to help me? Abby groans. If I think about it, she's the only one and not trying to screw me over. If she's a witch, which I mean I would say she proved she is, and I'm really a witch, then I need her help. She said she came for me. I don't know if that means she expects me to return the favor, but right now she's my only takeaway from this mess. Just take a deep breath and make your move. You can do this. Your brain spinning out on adrenaline and despair's banging on the door of your mind, but god damn it, you did not endure 2 full years of training to fall apart now. Happy? Ah, that nearly busted my freaking eardrums.
Oh, are you alright?
Kinda. I spun out magic right now. How's the goon squad look? Guess over at my former squad. Lacey's on her feet first, using her blessed egg field to steady herself. I can tell her magic reserves are flowing in. Wait, I can tell.
Abby, am I really a witch? Yes, you idiot. You just need to say the magic word and you'll turn full freak like me. Wait, magic word, what is it? No idea.
Abby grins as she gets to her feet and begins to coalesce a ball of energy in her hand. It's small, but it looks like she's about to keep fighting. Grey and Trena are about to get up too. She won't survive a second round. My gun lets out a spark in my hand and I drop it as it breaks. Useless.
Wait, tell me the magic word. I can help.
I can't. But I can tell you where to find it. Problem is, once you say it, you will have to absolutely go ham on the powers. It's better to do it in a safe place, not in the middle of a fight. Abby throws her energy ball as she says this. The orb of dark purple light flies towards Lucy, or should I say Lacey, who deflects it with her magic field. Abby spits and winces. We don't have a choice, just tell me.
We don't have a choice, just tell me, come on, come on.
Are you a newbie? Are you sure, newbie?
Of course not, it's adrenaline jogging. If I don't get something to do in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to piss myself and die. Now freaking hurry and tell me your little trash gremlin.
Trash gremlin?
Wow, no need to get personal. Okay, remember these dreams you've been having?
My eyes widen, of course. It all comes back to them, huh?
Say her name, honey.
Ami slumps the ground, her hands still in the air, doing a thumbs up. That's so lame. I see Lacey smile coldly and begin to advance, weapon ready. My heart is beating like a jackhammer. In this cold, dimly lit field, I'm standing alone in front of a criminal, facing off against everything I thought was true and just. I have no idea how this happened, but this solution feels surprisingly simple. I'm going to survive any way I can.
I guess it's time. Klessa!
At first nothing happens. The wind whistles through the trees. Ooh. Would it be cool if it became basically just complete silence? That's when you know something is going on. Like, for example, when you are in a forest and you hear there is a complete silence suddenly. That means there is a predator around. Would it be cool if it happened now? Anyway. Lacey's boots crunch over concrete towards me. Then I noticed something on the edge of perception. I could feel it before, but now I can see it. A twinkling, sparkling brilliance all around me. It touches me, caresses me, feels me. My stomach, lungs, bones, something is passing through me and out of me. It's magic. A whole lot of it. Lacey stops dead. Her eyes lock onto me.
You're an insult, you're so evil, Collie!
I guess so, you dumb bitch.
The trickle of magic becomes a raging river. My body shakes and my hands begin to glow. I feel a heat burning furnace within. A thread of light flashes forth from my palm into the sky, buffing the earth in unnatural daylight. This is pure power!
I'm warning you, I have no idea how to use magic.
You won't get that time to learn!
I hope she dies. I don't like her. Lacey flies at me, blessed I feel the pinnacle configuration. I grab hold of the fire in my arm and swing it at her like a blunt object. Pooh! The heat crackles the air and causes a thermal explosion, knocking Lacey sideways.
Okay, so I can make heat, light, fire. Let's see what I can do with it.
I spew out more magic from my hands, this time making a wisp of light. I grab it and squeeze it into a button. It looks like I'm waving a light bar around. Lacey takes aim and fires off a heavy shot. I smack it back at her like a baseball. Let's go! Hopefully she dies.
Come on, Lace. You know this is freaked up. We're trying to so hard.
Your target is your handlers too!
We should kill her, honestly. She attacks again with a barrage of magical gunfire. I clap my hands together and slam two walls of heat in front of me, bouncing them away.
The only way to live in this world is to obey the freaking rules! God gave us a book, he gave us laws, he told us to get rid of dangerous little stains like you people! The fact someone like you actually got to be a member of his sacred order for a small amount of time is disgusting! How dare you make me care about you!
Oh, so you actually like me, and you're going to throw it away just because of something I have no control over.
Of course, that's why I have God! It means I don't have to think about this, just let him take the wheel! Now let me and God run you over and forget about you!
This is pathetic. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I always thought God was impersonal, a direct from on high people relied on for the big issues. Hearing Lucy using him as her personal blame shifter is really sad. She even admitted she liked me. Well, I didn't. The flames inside me burn hotter. Lacey's panting heavily. Her ammo is about to run out. It's time I finish this.
You won't escape! We'll hunt you down! You'll die in a ditch and regret you ever made a fool of us!
Lace. Grace on her feet finally. She hasn't got her blessed tech field activated. She's just looking between us with a sad expression.
Thank you, Lacey. You were a good teammate. I'm sorry.
Fuck you!
I point my hand at her and loose. The heat wave I let out isn't especially hot, but it's white and moves fast. Is she dead? Lacey's blown off her feet, her gun clattering uselessly on the ground. She looks back up at me, dazed and falls unconscious. Finish her.
Lace!
Finish her! Finish her! Grey runs between us, putting her arms up. She's frightened. Tears are in her eyes. Seeing her look at me like this hurt me in a way I'd never imagined before. Fear, she fears me.
Please, Cole, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say or do, but Lace is confused. Just don't kill her, please.
I want to finish her. I want to finish.
I'm not a killer. I wasn't trying to kill her.
Damn it! Grey looks around at our surroundings. I follow her gaze. There's burning embers and smoldering debris everywhere. Small trees have been knocked over and the old containers are on fire. I did this. Abby lets out a theatrical sigh from behind me.
Phew! yeah, this is what I was worried about. You're really lucky you didn't take the chick's head off.
What a shame.
I didn't mean to. Truth of the matter is, witches are dangerous.
I mean, you are dangerous as well, to be fair, but, you know. I spin to face Trina. She's got her handgun ready.
Oh, boy.
Her face is hard, severe. I'm intimidated despite my newfound power.
Are you sure you want to resist? The rehab facility is built to control the powers and keep you and the people around you safe. Bullshit! You enjoyed it, didn't you, Collie? Magic is scary but feels seriously good, right? Those church weirdos want to cage you. They want to make it so you can never enjoy your God-given gift again.
She was right about that. Using magic naturally. It was like breathing in fresh air for the first time. Ah, yes. Isn't God responsible for this? That's right. Why are his followers trying to imprison me? The more I think about it, haven't we been doing this the wrong thing?
You're right, I can't give this up.
I'm absolutely not in a rational mental state right now, so maybe it's just the magic talking. But I feel like if I give up, I lose.
You sound like a child. Take some damn responsibility for your actions. Like you're trying to cover up yours by getting rid of me? Maybe you're the one who's being a child. You're trying to make everything work the way you want it to, including me. Everything from being a handler to this stupid ribbon. I took it on because I thought you were cool and beautiful and smart and friendly and someone worth following. Well, fuck that! I'm going to follow someone else for a change.
I turn away from Trina for the last time, leaving her looking shocked. I turn away... Instead, I look at Grey, who flinches.
Grey, I'm sorry things turned out this way. Take care of yourself. When Lacey wakes up, tell her I wish her the best.
Actually, I wish her death.
Okay. I'm sorry too, you should get out of here while you can.
I nod and walk back to Abby, picking her up by the shoulder. We start to walk into the forest.
No, go back, Collie! I'm the one who can protect you. Don't you leave me like this!
I wave my arm. I would wave my middle finger, but a curtain fire rises behind us, blocking us from sight as we vanish into the gloom. In my ears, I hear the screams and curses of my former commander, my former sister, and my first love. It's refreshing to wake up without remembering my dreams. And also a bit lonely. Klesa, whoever or whatever she was, is no longer haunting my slumber. Or maybe I'm just so exhausted my brain is too fried to conjure her. I wipe sleep away from my eyes and look out of the sleeping bag at the canvas walls of the tent. Abby had a second supply pack, cached away some distance from the block and whipped it up on the way out of there. It's been 2 days now, the first of which was entirely spent not talking and gaining distance from the handlers, away from the city into the trees. I shiver, pulling the sleeping bag around my naked body. Our clothes were hanging up outside after Abby had suggested we wash them overnight. According to her, we'd crossed the boundary that skiff fuel supplies normally can cross and could breathe easier about Perset.
Good morning, princess.
My eyes lower to see Abby peeking out at me from under her sleeping bag. She's got an impish grin on her face. Now that I get a look up close, she's actually quite pretty. No, I'm not in love with her. I'm not that easy, but being honest with myself feels good. She looks really hot right now. Hey,
I said good morning.
Oh,
Right, sorry. I was just thinking you actually look pretty cute when you're not rugged up. Oh, don't compliment me all of a sudden. We had like a mutually snarky relationship going, old couple wipes and shite. I'm not really in the mood to be standoffish anymore.
Abby gives me a sympathetic look. She reaches out a hand and takes mine, rubbing the back of my hand with her thumb.
You'll feel like shite for a while, but it will get better once you get among your own kind. Aside from biatches like me, there's actually some real nice witches out there. But I'm an ex-handler. Won't they hate me for what I've done?
No, not really. I know like 10 or 11 witches who are formerly church people. Sisters, artisans, handlers too.
Abby brushes aside a discarded ration wrapper from the night before and continues.
Oh, there is also women who used to be members of elite city families and former Dover district prostitutes living side by side. We're all in this together. More or less.
More or less.
Some witches live in enclaves in the wilderness, but there is plenty who live alone. Some hide out in the trees, others will stay in the city, keeping their true nature secret.
That would make sense. Considering how everyone turned on me, they definitely want to stay hidden.
Actually, part of my job is keeping the two groups in touch. I keep my ear to the ground and try to help my new witches out, or older witches who want out. I'm kind of impressed. Abby came off as a violent, lazy, full-mouthed schemer, but she seems to use her powers for good. Yeah. She noticed me looking at her with admiration and rolls her eyes. Oh, don't put me on the pedestal, Kate. I don't do this for free.
Oh, does that mean I owe you something? I don't really have any money.
It's a favor, okay? One day in the future, I might need you to help me with something or mediate some shit fight or whatever.
Abby pokes her tongue out cutely.
Hey, I got people who owe me all over the place, and that's how I managed to run laps around your old bosses. I'm basically a genius.
I know about that. I lower and look at the ceiling of the tent. There is a bit of morning light passing through, but it's still very early and very chilly. I want some warmth.
Hey, also.
Yeah?
Thanks for stepping in back there, and I'm sorry for tricking you, lying to you, and swearing at you.
Her jokey face turns sincere.
You definitely got screwed around with, and me treating you similarly to how that Steve can't did make me feel a bit gross.
It's okay, I get where you're coming from.
I roll back to face her and my arms slope down near her sleeping bag.
You know...
You want to cuddle but don't know how to ask, right?
What?
My cheeks flush red and I start to pull the covers over my head, but Abby gently tucks my hand underneath her sleeping bag's fold. She gives me an encouraging smile.
We're not in love, but does mean I don't think you're cute, and I think it makes you feel better.
But is it the right way? Does mean you're into girls as well?
Probably. I've only done it with girls so far. I wouldn't rule out a boy, but very hard to find for most witches. Anyway, you up for it?
I can feel the edge of her skin touching my fingertips. My heart's pounding, but...
You feel right with it?
I shove my body closer. Abby's scent fills my nostrils, and they cuddle. She smells hot and kind of spicy, pleasantly sharp. She pulls her body a bit up over mine, so her horns don't get in the way. I'm kind of impressed she sleeps with those.
Go ahead. Let's cuddle.
We lie there for a time, until the sun rises above the trees and the heat drives us apart. But I feel like, even then, we're now connected, even if it's just as witches. Maybe that's good enough. Maybe.
So now what?
We're standing on the rise above her campsite. The clothes dried well, so I feel a bit weird to still be wearing my uniform after the rather dramatic firing. Abby staring out over the forest.
About a couple of days on foot from here, there's an enclave. I'll take you there. Find you a place to sleep, find myself a place to sleep, then we can both pass the freak out for a month or 3. Sound good?
What about our sisters? The ones who end up in rehabilitation back at the city. When they recruited me, I was thinking maybe you were looking for fighters or something.
What? No.
Abby slaps me on the shoulder. She gives me a sympathetic look.
You've just had your whole life turned upside down. Frankly, you should go take a year off before you even think about doing anything more dangerous than making toast. But you're earning a high from breaking free from your previous status quo and think like you're in some big adventure story, and that if you keep up the momentum, things will work out somehow, right?
Trust me, I've been there.
Trust me, I've been there, but you need to rest properly. It may feel like you're okay, like you've reached some new level of understanding, blah 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 blah, but you're gonna crash hard in 48 hours and feel like complete shite.
I follow me, bro, but Abby's the one with experience here.
I guess I'll take your word for it.
Abby nods and looks back towards the city, still visible over the trees. I stand next to her. Dude, if it's visible, then we haven't really gotten far. The glittering buildings are so far away.
It's not like witches aren't concerned, but there's so few of us, and we're so spread out. It'd be nice if there was some super powerful hero who could pass down the doors of the facility and free our sisters, but it's easier said than done. Not to mention, a lot of older witches think everyone's center is slaughtered.
Yeah, it's possible.
What? But what about... You've never been there, have you?
No.
Just saying. I haven't either, so who knows if it's true or not. Anyway, come on, let's get going.
I would not be surprised.
When we reach the enclave, I'll introduce you to a great tailor. She'll hook you up with some clothes and a nice witch hat. What's a witch hat for? For keeping the sun out of your eyes, dumbass. Let's go!
I take one last look at the city. Everything I've experienced. Everything I valued. Everything I was ultimately betrayed by. It all revolves around that central axis. Trina, Grey, Lacey, former squad leader Collie, sends her regards. I turn my back on the bastion of the church. I don't know when, if I ever will face it again. I'd like to think I will. For now, I take a step into the unknown. For good or for ill. Spellbroken. Dude, this deserves a part 2. And I want exactly this ending as part 2. Please, make it. Make it. Devs, make it! I yearn for Spellbroken part 2. What a good game. I can't believe how long it's been waiting on my PC to me to finally play it. Actually, has it been waiting that long? Let's see. I will need to head to YouTube. Because I do believe I've picked it up after I actually played one of the other games. GFXF. GFXF, let's see. Oh, I played it last year. In January 2023. I mean, it still means that Spellbroken I downloaded over a year ago. And I finally got into it. I'm happy about that. That was a good game, not gonna lie. And ladies and gents, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to see the other ending, but I kinda don't want to cover it on YouTube. I'm gonna say go and do it yourself. Link is in the description. The game is free. So that's how it's gonna be. I'm gonna force you to go to itch.io and download Spellbroken yourself. And find out what the other ending would be like. Because I basically refuse to give up. I basically refuse to do something like that. And I think it would be ridiculous to just be like, yeah, sure, I will go to the facility. Which we don't even know what exactly does. Considering the fact that, as Abby mentioned, they might be slaughtering the witches. They make it sound so nice and so on, but, you know. I kinda don't trust the church. Any kind of church. And some religions you can't even believe in general. Or people following certain religions, right? Like the Sandmen, for example, as I mentioned before. Man, I hope Poland will not allow them into our country. That would be so nice. Anyway, because that took a weird turn of me talking. Spellbroken, lovely story. I had a lot of fun. Lovely main character. Who surprisingly doesn't feel kind of good about herself because she's a tomboy, and I'm here like tomboys are wonderful. And you know it. Tomboys are great, come on. I mean, I never would trust someone overly religious, and there was one in our supposed team. So yeah, I would not trust her for sure. And there was the blue-haired one. Would I trust her? Maybe. Would I be interested in her? Maybe, for as kind of mentioned. I think she cursed way too much, so... To be fair, they all curse, for heaven's sake. Even the supposed religious one cursed like crazy. Not into both of them. The supposed older sister kind of girl, she was very attractive and so on, but... Well, sadly, she was in a way a traitor. In a way, she was a traitor, so also on a going on a dislike side because of that. How dare she, by the way? How dare she? How dare she tell us how to live? How dare she, right? Anyway, I think this basically deserves a part to see what exactly our Collie would basically do next. Would be nice to find out. Maybe she will go and basically go on a sort of war with the church. To be honest, that would be quite freaking cool. And hopefully she's able to, you know, give the witches the freedom. That is correct. Alright, I think we'll cut it here. Again, I'm gonna check the other ending right now, to be honest, to see what would happen, but I'm not gonna cover it in a video. Go do it yourself if you want to find out. Again, the game is free, so yeah. Also, you know, as per usual, consider liking the video, subscribe, and so on. Always appreciate it, and hopefully you have a wonderful day.
It does matter. Abby's back is to me. I don't even have to see her face. She'll never know it was me.
There is a loud crack as I pull the trigger. I can't. The bullet flies on and pierces the back of Abby's head. She lets out a gasp and a spray of blood. Then falls limp. I killed her. I killed the witch. I killed her.
I killed her. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it.
The gun's power core fizzles and it disintegrates in my hands. My skin burns, but I don't notice. She's dead. I killed her. She's dead. I did it. I did it.
Collie.
I turn and look at my commander standing over me. I bring my raw hand up and salute.
I did, Commander. I killed the witch. I see. Well, Trena turns to the other girls as they awkwardly get to their feet.
Trena's haggard face returns to its playful smile. She pats me on the back in front of them theatrically.
Well, that whole thing about Trena being a witch, it was all bullshit. We fed a fake story over the radio network to lure the scanner in so we could trap her. Once Collie saw an opening, she took her out. What the fuck? You guys seriously didn't tell us? Sorry! You two aren't exactly the best actors. If you knew that witch was actually dangerous, you'd probably freak out. I need someone cool and capable like my little Cole to do the job, you know.
Gary wipes some dirt from her face. Shakes her head and limps off. Daisy stares at me.
Fine!
She follows Gray back towards the block. I remain slumped on the floor, Abby's body still in my line of sight.
You surprised me, you know. You're staring oblivion in the face and you just throw it all in the trash and end up catching an even bigger fish than yourself for the handlers to fry.
She crouches down in front of me, her face closed. Her eyes glitter in a horrible way.
This doesn't change things. You're still a witch, but you're also a traitor to your own kind. I'll protect you as best I can, but it won't last long. We won't be together much longer. The only safe place for you will be under lock and key.
Her hand touches my chin and props my face up. I don't feel it. I don't feel anything. I killed it, Commander. I killed the witch. I'll do anything you say. Just.
Don't let me think. What? I don't want to think about anything about it. Tell me not to think, maybe. Make it so I can think. You're kidding, right? I can't tell you what you think, only you can do that.
She lets go of me and stands up. I get up to follow her. I walk back to the block. I smell blood. I walk through the forest. I smell blood. I get on the skiff. And I don't want to go to sleep. Klessa will be waiting for me.
Spellbroken. Or just broken.
Yeah, basically she's becoming a broken person right now. It is how it is, I guess. Yeah, not a good ending. The first one was so much better, obviously. And so much more interesting. This one kinda meh. I wouldn't do that, basically. Kind of ridiculous. But what can you say? Anyway, now seriously, let's end the video. So consider liking, subscribing, and so on. Always appreciate it. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. But now, really seriously, this is the end. There is no more endings. See you in the next game tomorrow. Bye-bye.